The motor and sensory homunculus are distorted representations of the human body mapped onto the brain's primary motor and somatosensory cortices. The motor homunculus, located in the precentral gyrus, illustrates how different body parts correspond to regions responsible for voluntary movement. Similarly, the sensory homunculus, found in the postcentral gyrus, represents areas dedicated to processing touch, proprioception, and other sensory inputs. In both maps, body parts are not represented in proportion to their actual size, but rather based on their functional significance. The hands, face, and tongue appear disproportionately large because they require fine motor control and heightened sensory perception. These maps follow a somatotopic organization, meaning that adjacent body parts are mapped to adjacent regions of the cortex. The exaggerated features of the homunculus highlight the brain's emphasis on precise movements and detailed sensory processing. The extended mind theory proposes that cognitive processes are not confined solely to the brain, but extend into the body and environment. This idea, introduced by philosophers Andy Clark and David Chalmers, suggests that tools, technology, and even other people can function as integral components of thinking. For example, a notebook used for memory, a smartphone for navigation, or the way hands manipulate objects to aid problem solving can all be considered extensions of the mind. The theory challenges traditional views of cognition by arguing that mental processes do not happen in isolation, but rather emerge through interactions with the world. In this perspective, cognition is seen as an active, embodied process that integrates external elements, making thinking more dynamic and adaptive than previously believed.
I use both of those in exploring the meaning of words, what's behind words. I started off with 2 fist-size balls of clay as an experiment to see if there is much difference than using a large ball of clay and working on it with both hands. I was seeing if there is a left and right brain difference, and there might be. This time I'm exploring the word wisdom, and it felt like both pieces of clay were attracted to each other into a single unit. In my mind, with my eyes closed, it was like exploring the word dimensionally. And the clay is an echo or is a reflection of that space explored. My eyes are still closed. And an aspect I found with extended mind exploration is that it kind of creates a kind of field around it. So in a sense, the object is this remnant is a skeleton, and what lays around it is something more. At the first, you'll see that I had to get into the space of exploring the word once my eyes were closed. And then when I opened my eyes, I flicked my fingers around to kind of get out of that space, that field that was generated by exploring the word.